trying to figure this stuff out in the stream settings. 1 second. Hope it's going okay. Hold on. All right. We can hear it. All right. That's good. That's good. All right. It's 11:01. First, I wanted to start this out with the Luxe Idol review on a good note, rather than kind of jumping into what's been happening today. If at any point, obviously I can't hear myself, but at any point that this AC unit behind me is too loud, I gotta know that, because I can't hear it. I mean, I can, it's behind me, but I can't hear it through the stream. So first, picked up a Luxe Idol, and it's going to be sent off to anodizing here soon whenever I can put aside the funds for that. I already got it quoted and everything, but I used to have a CS3. Some folks might have seen my post about like Planet Eclipse changing the grip around to the front, only because I felt like that was much easier. You had something like your pointer finger to kind of like hook into and like really hold it. My problem with the CS2 and CS3, sorry, it's a CS3 if I didn't say that before. My problem with the CS3 that I had was that wait, what? My frame rate's too high? We're good. F it. So what had happened was, again, the CS3, every time like I dove and got into a bunker or something and tried to bring the gun up to shoot it, it just kind of, it was like weird gripping it. It felt like it was just way too bulky in the hands. So I went ahead again and let go of it. It wasn't like it was a bad marker or anything like that. Let go of it. And I picked up an Idol, in all red, because I have a sick ano that I want to get it done in that I've always enjoyed. But for the Idol, you guys probably saw in one of my videos before that I had an era, and I really do enjoy the era. I can't really dial that trigger, and the trigger is awesome, but I like a trigger that's more forward into the frame instead of. Oh my god, my frame rate's too high. Can I change this on the fly? 1 second. No, I can't. I'll just try to slow down on my movement. So the trigger couldn't go far into the frame forward, so it always stayed like far back, and it just didn't. I like to have a long, not like a long throw, but I like to have my trigger way more forward, like I said, and the Idol kind of just got that perfectly. The foregrip is very thin, where the regulators is. It's very thin. I mean, I can get a nice grip on it however I want to. Like I said, it's just, it's got like the best ergonomics. And the best trigger. I mean, this trigger is sick. It doesn't have like a 5-6 way adjustable point, but I was able to get this thing dialed in exactly how I wanted to, and it rips. I love it. I'm just going to do a quick review on it because, like, I don't really have much to say about it. Like, what are we going to talk about? The bolt? Who cares? As long as it, like, is it reliable? Does it shoot? I mean, it was great for me over the weekend. It shot for me over the weekend. My only downfall that I had was that when I shot, like, it was weird. It was kind of like I would shoot, and then when it was done, I would degas the marker, and I would shoot once to let the air out, of course, because it stores air, and then a ball would just roll out the barrel afterwards. I don't really know, but that is what was happening, and it's kind of weird. But it's not that big of a deal in the long run. I mean, it is what it is. It's just, if that's a problem, I'm just gonna have DLX tech it for me. But other than that, I turned the voice off because it's kind of a gimmick. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I know that people like that, but I'm not really a fan of it. Also, the other thing is that it feels extremely premium. Not gonna lie. It feels extremely like, I feel like I could just chuck this thing across the yard like 1,000 times, and I feel like I just pick it up and just roll with it. I'm not gonna do that though, but it's sick. I don't have any qualms. I don't care if it uses ribbon eyes as long as the eyes work. I don't care if it uses mirrored eyes as long as the eyes work. I don't care if it uses IR as long as the eyes work. You know what I'm saying? It's as long as things work. I don't care that the feed neck lever is on the left side rather than the right side. Because it doesn't matter. I mean, the only time I really need to adjust that is when I'm putting the hopper on or taking the hopper off, and that's usually like once or twice in the day, you know. And it holds on to the hopper pretty nicely. I've had no issues with my IR staying on it. Now I guess we get into the big stuff, because that's, I mean, like I said, it was going to be just a quick review. I'm not going to like really say names besides one person's name. Or, I mean, I'm not going to say, I shouldn't say that. I'm not going to say the main person's name. Because I have a family and I can't really afford to go into like some sort of legal battle if I say something wrong. Because like I'm not trying to be wrong and I'm not trying to be right and I'm not trying to spread misinformation. I'm just trying to give my point of view and like, I guess, help the community in a way and go from there. It's like, what time is it right now? It's 11:07 p.m. EST, and Marcelo has already made his post about the whole situation. And I mean, I guess I'll get to that. But for right now, I kind of have like some ideas jotted down in the phone that I need to kind of get at. But like I said, like the very first one, the very first idea is that I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to say no names. I'm not going to say the main person's name. Everybody knows the guy. Everybody knows who it is, and we know who we're talking about. I'm not trying to insinuate anything. It's just, it's all got to be allegedly, right? So a lot of this came from like Marcelo's Instagram and his story, right? And that's where a lot of people are getting this information from, and not necessarily like, you know, Marcelo himself just said, I did not pick up the gun. That picture was not from me. And like, that's for like, there's no proof that it is him picking it up, and there's no proof that it isn't him picking it up, right? There's no other camera view of him neither picking it up or not picking it up. So as far as we know, it could be a legitimate apology, or it could be like a legitimate post where he's saying that it wasn't me, or it could be like PR talk. I don't really know what to believe, because I was not in the room and there's no proof against or for it. And I'm not going to pretend like there is proof for it or against it, and I'm not going to talk like there is proof for and against it. So that situation's a moot point, right? So although he does have it in his Instagram, it doesn't mean he knew the whole time that this certain individual had Nazi mindset, right? I guess you could say. I don't really know of really like anyone that would coach like a D5 team and just talk to the D5 players about their every single one's hobby and what they're interested in and all this stuff. I don't follow this guy. I don't follow celebrities at all. I think it's stupid to like be up somebody's butt about their life that has no like effect on mine. So like caring that much, I don't even know this guy, right? I don't know the guy that we're talking about, the Nazi situation guy. Um, eh, so like I just found out that he's always been like this. Did Marcelo know? Who knows? I mean, he's a prominent figure. Um, he's a prominent figure that's been on other podcasts, but like, who's to say Marcelo watches those podcasts? Who's to say, Marcelo is, um, like, who's to say Marcelo is asking about this stuff or aware of even the stuff going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? I have to play devil's advocate in this situation. For those who are like believing or not believing, I'm trying to play both sides of the coin because it's irrational to come at this whole entire situation with emotion and not logic. And that's where a lot of people are going to be eating their words. So, again, I'm not a first-hand basis. I'm not a first-hand account. I learned just like everybody else through Instagram posts and probably their buddies in a group chat, right? That's how like a lot of people learned it. Again, I don't know this guy, this Nazi guy, whatever. I don't know his thought processes, and I have not seen anything about the guy. Personally, I seen him in Instagram posts. The NXL would post about him. People posted about getting their picture taken with him, and I never knew who this dude was. I thought it was just another Chris Odom situation where a celebrity was playing paintball. Cool, dude. Like, awesome. Celebrity paintball is growing. Celebrities are knowing more and more about paintball, and they can spread the word, and it'll help get out there. I just thought that's the case. I don't know what this guy does in his own personal life, right? So Marcel could be in the same situation. Who's to say he really knew the whole time, right? Maybe the topic never got brought up. Like, nobody, like, are we really like trying to play paintball and talk about politics? I mean, I'm not doing that crap. I'm really not. I try my best not to. Like, we go out to play paintball to focus on paintball and play paintball. Coaches probably do the same. Like, they want to help the team at hand. Maybe, money talks and there's money involved in, like, money speaks louder than words sometimes. And it's like, let's just like not bring this up. Nobody really knows. Okay. Only Marcelo really has the answer. Marcelo knows if he's known it the whole time or if he has known it, or if he hasn't. If he has or if he hasn't known the whole time, only Marcelo knows the answer. So like, we can't just sit here and speculate, because if we just sit here and speculate, we're always just going to be wrong. No matter what, we're just going to be wrong because we think we know better, but we don't, because only Marcelo knows, or the guy, the Nazi guy. The thing is also Marcelo was coaching a whole team, not just one dude. Let's see here, but the one dude was likely the reason. Yeah, okay. So, Marcelo was coaching a whole team, not just one dude, right? Marcelo should not be burned at the stake for one individual's situation when he was coaching an entire team, right? It's a little ridiculous. Like, I don't know. That just seems insane. I don't even think I have like a metaphor, I don't think I have a metaphor to even like put to that, right? Like, one bad apple spoils the bunch, I guess. But like, I don't think we should be burning Marcelo at the stake. Really, genuinely. Like, that just seems a little corny to me. He doesn't. I don't think he really deserves that. Again, because we don't know the situation in the entirety. We don't know again, this podcast episode is being done right after Marcelo put his statement out, stating whatever he said. I kind of just skimmed through it and just, he seemed like he was talking about the situation at hand, of course. Like I said, it doesn't seem, I guess what I'm trying to get at is, we like being associated with the guy does not make Marcelo a sympathizer. A lot of people are taking this way too far and making it seem like Marcelo is a sympathizer, and that's not to say he is or isn't, because again, we have no idea. But we're not, like, it's crazy to say that he's a sympathizer by association. That's kind of like saying you hang out around a group of gay people and now you're just gay because you hang out with them. That's like literally insanity, right? I don't get where we're using logic to say, because he coached them and he hung out, he must be a sympathizer and he must share the same ideals. That's literally like crazy to me to even think that, to go that far. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, with this day and age though, like with flat earthers and crap like that, I guess anything is a possibility for anybody to think. And that right there is just unfortunate to think something like that. Cause I don't think like you're guilty by association. I don't think, I do not think Marcelo feels like he's a Nazi or wants to be a Nazi or has the same ideals as a Nazi just because he coached a team with a dude that had those types of ideals, right? So that's a little, I think we should just back off that, right? And go from there. Now I do want to say this, because this one has been floating around, especially here in the United States of America, right, is the freedom of speech. And we do have a freedom of speech. And personally, I'm hardcore against bullies. I hate them like to a T, and anything that would encompass being a bully, right? It's just unnecessary. You're putting other people down and hating other people for what reason? Like when you go 6 feet under at the end of your life, have you accomplished something positive? Like has all that hate and that buildup done you any good? And you lie in that casket accomplished? It's crazy to me. So what I'm saying is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Every individual in the United States of America deserve that and should be granted that. And they are granted that. It's what we do with it that matters. Being a disgusting human being, that's unfortunate. If that is what your choice is, that is unfortunate. We as human beings, and being on the top of the totem pole, are smart enough to walk away from it and realize that we don't need to follow it, right? We've been through this in history before, and we don't need to go through it again. So although I don't agree with the guy, I've never met the guy, I don't want to meet the guy, I have no intentions of bumping fists and being and pretending like we were lifelong buddies or anything like that. I mean, I disagree with his ideals. Absolutely, 100%. I disagree. Have no inkling to ever agree with him on those ideas that he has, right? And that's okay. That's called a difference of opinion. Now, when he starts to act on it, actually hurting people physically, that's my biggest concern. That is my biggest issue that I would have. At the end of the day, his words are just words. And again, being on the top of the totem pole, we're able to not let it affect us the way he wants it to. We're able to not allow the hatred to get to us. But sometimes that influences people who don't know any better. And those are the people growing up around paintball. A lot of people coming up in paintball now are very young kids. And that's where a lot of us started, was as a young kid, watching people play, hear about it from friends in school, going for a birthday party. Typically, paintball is done by a birthday party. You are introduced typically through birthdays, right? And this guy is getting plastered, and he's being kind of put on a podium because he's a celebrity for some reason. He's better than everybody else, and he's being put on a podium. It's like that rich kid in school, and everybody wants to be a friend because maybe maybe that guy will give him money down the road or something like that, right? But everybody, like I said, everybody's like being buddy with him. And with that being said, the newer players, like the kids coming up, see that the guy must be cool. They start following him. I mean, where does it go from there? Do these kids start thinking that that's cool now? That's unfortunate. Like, I had something written down here. Okay, it's the same thing, but a little bit of a different situation. But that's what I think we need to be protecting too. Like, that's where I become super passionate. Not only am I passionate about the topic at hand in the sense of we shouldn't be bullying people regardless or just hating them because, but the kids and like helping them come up in a brighter light for paintball rather than slapping violence on it. You know what I'm saying? It's not a good look to put somebody on a stage, on a podium like that. Politics, religion, sexuality, I think personally, in my opinion, it all just needs to stay out of paintball. Because it's all around real world anyways, that it also doesn't need to be pressured into paintball. We should enjoy paintball for what it is. Have a rainbow marker, right? It doesn't matter. Like, you know, put a Republican, Democratic flag, a lib flag, whatever on your markers or whatever. But putting like straight up like hatred symbols, I mean, that's rough, right? Again, free speech. Absolutely. I have the power to understand that, like, that's your opinion and I don't share it. But I mean, it's as crazy I think it is, like, it is free speech. And like, how do you go about that? How do you do something like this? Does the NXL ban himself? But we're trying to keep politics and stuff out of paintball, right? But banning someone for a political view is just, it's rough. But this is extreme. Is that the line that's crossed? Is like, you can have these types of political views, but when the extreme political view is crossed, that's where we cut it. I mean, Planet Eclipse on their Ego 8 made a rebel flag. You know what I'm saying? I mean, no one, I don't think, really ever shoots it or even has one besides hanging up on a wall. And of course, Planet Eclipse didn't mean it in a negative way, but a lot of people see that flag in a negative light, right? And we don't really see players playing with a rebel flag. So is it something like that? Is it in like the rebel flag camp? You know, I don't really know how to go about that one. Do you just put a rule out that all things are just not tolerable? You know, all political views are not tolerable, or do you just put out the thing saying that extreme views? Because I mean, let's be honest. In a lot of people's cases, and the unanimous vote, this is pretty extreme. You know what I'm saying? Like, It's not. You have Jewish people going to these tournaments, and dude, like, are they feeling comfortable? No, no, they're not feeling comfortable, and we should have a place where it is comfortable. Um, I don't know. Like, a lot of people are saying in comments on a lot of what was reading was like, oh, this dude wouldn't survive an Xbox lobby. Like, the internet's different. Tyler, the creator, said it best. Like, dude, just turn off your computer and walk away. And like, do I agree? Yeah, but dude, this is America. We have school shooters left and right. What do I think this guy will ever act on something like that? No, no. But people are wrong all the time, and you just never know what would happen. Where does the extremism lie? Does he ever plan on acting on it because of a grander scheme? Who knows? Only the guy knows, right? So going from there, um, a lot of people are saying that it's a joke, that this is all a joke, um, and that's kind of, I don't really agree with. I don't agree with that. You have someone that got an entire gun anode, even stickers on the hopper, right? It, I guess he has been found in other podcasts saying some crazy stuff. I can't comment on all that because, again, I have no idea. I don't watch the guy. I don't watch podcasts. I don't follow celebrities or nothing like that. So I really have no idea what this guy has been saying. But my point of view is, of course, if he's been saying extreme stuff, I can't agree. I'm not going to agree with it. I'm not going to agree with it. Not only cannot agree with it, I'm not going to. But if it is a joke, like a lot of people are trying to claim, then in my opinion, the dude's got this sense of humor as a juggalo in the 7th grade who played Halo and listened to Trapped with DC shoes. That is like that edgy type of humor that this could be a possible joke. And like, I don't know how old the guy is, but I feel like we're old enough to see past that and see that if this was benefit of the doubt, if this was a joke, like, that was bad. That was a bad joke at the end of the day. It was just not, that's not even a joke. Like, let's just calm down, find out what we really think is funny. People getting hurt's pretty funny if you watch some funniest home videos. Maybe you want to watch some ridiculousness. You know, that plays on MTV nowadays, like 24/7, keeping MTV alive. Or find some dry humor. Watch The Office or Trailer Park Boys. I mean, I don't know, man. I just don't think that it was in light of a joke. I mean, what would compel you to go that deep for a joke? You got a gun anode, and now a lot of people are going after the Anno company and trying to figure out who the Anno company was, and like, they want guilt by association. Again, like for Marcelo, they want guilt by association, and this is a give and take, because think of it in a tattooer's perspective, right? Like, it's money. They're doing their job, and they're not going to bring their views into the art that is being commissioned, right? Like, I don't know, like, how to really explain this in a way where how I can understand why people would go after the Anno company, in the sense of like, we need to condemn them because they should have just said no to an ano like this. But like trying to ruin that company's cancel culture, and like trying to cancel culture the ano company, I think is unnecessary. They were doing a job that was asked of them, and it's not reflecting their belief as far as we know, right? But they're not guilty by association because they did work, right? They just did the work that was commissioned of them. And like, I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't. And that's just somebody trying to make a living. Like, really. So I hope, to an extent, like, Jesus, man, I got this hair on me. To an extent, I hope that this anode company can stay anonymous, because unfortunately the internet is the internet and they can do some pretty nasty things. But to an extent, like, should we know? I don't really think so. Like, that's just their business. Like, that's none of our business. I know a lot of people, again, want to hold them at the stake, and they want to like they want to cancel culture them, but like, they were doing what was commissioned. I don't know. That's hard. Like, I I went to college for graphics design and engineering, and I'm trying to look at it from a point of view like that. Like, should this guy be held accountable? But for what? Doing work? It's not his opinion. That's not his feelings. Like, as far as we know, that's not his feelings. So like, where do we go from there with it? Maybe some people will continue to get anos from him because they're like, hey man, we understand, whatever. But then there's those other people that are like, I need to know because I don't want to get my anos done from a guy that got Nazi stuff anode onto another gun. So like, I don't know, man. My point of view on it is, I guess, moot. But maybe we should leave him alone. Also, holy crap. It says I have like 2,500 dropped frames. I think I need to change some settings, but we're already this deep. Okay, so this is like the second from last idea that I've had. Like I said, I had to write some things down because like I just had so many opinions that I think I needed to get out there. Personally, if I felt as passionate as I do, and I had him in a previous, okay, now, and this is going to sound like I'm calling people out, but I'm not. My Instagram post even said, I am happy that some pros have come forward, and even a professional team has come forward and have stood up against this, right? And those individuals themselves, I feel like, have so much respect in paintball. For instance, Uprising, Seattle Uprising. I love those guys to death. Jimmy, I love him to death. Never met them all. Never met him at all, actually. I love him to death. And oh man, hold on. We're getting dropped frames. Let me like restart this real quick with the slower frames per second. Give me like 1 second. Let me change this to part 1 real quick. Let me save this. Okay. Now 1 second. Are we good? Seems a little rough. Okay. So anyways, what I was saying, put this as part 2. Hopefully like both of them will be all right. So what I was saying, there's some individuals that have grown a lot of respect in the sport. Like I said, I keep wanting to say Portland Uprising, Seattle Uprising. I've never met any of the guys. I've never met any of the guys asterisk, but and what Jimmy is doing and his what he's got going on, like, not only are they being super honest with their post, but like it ties in with, they don't like carry sponsors besides DLX and the NXL on their jerseys. That speaks volumes. T Harm, Tyler Harmon, J Rab, those guys immediately came out and just said their opinions and stuff like that. I mean, they're being genuine. So what I'm about to say is not, it alludes to like Play the Game podcast, but like it's not like a stab at them or anything. But like if this was me, and in my opinion, I'm a nobody podcast, right? I'm literally a nobody. So, if it was me though, and I was a bigger podcast, and I had my logo on that individual's jersey, I would say, hey, like, pull the logo. We're sorry. Even though there's 7 other guys on the team, this is an incident we can't be a part of. We please pull the logo. If I had a podcast episode with the guy in it, I would delete it. If I was passionate about the situation at hand, like I am now, I would just delete it to show like how serious I was about it. But Tyler, the dude, it seems like it's like if there's one guy that eats, breathes, sleeps, I mean, from sun up to sundown, it seems like Tyler is the guy in paintball that does it. He's like the epitome of like in paintball. Like, I don't know how to really explain it. Like, if we had a statue of a paintball player, to depict paintball, it would be like Tyler Harmon, right? If we were saying the guy that trains and does nothing but think about paintball, and he does everything in life for paintball, it's Tyler Harmon, right? So I don't take his statements very lightly. I think he's very serious about it. But like, if I'm not trying to influence his situation, I'm not trying to like put my opinion out there, like, and to like influence him. But if it was just me, like, personally, I would pull my logo, delete the podcast episode, because it's not, it's about like removing the platform for that guy. It's about not making him like a thought in people's minds, right? We start by like not saying his name or something, remove him from the platforms, don't give him the spotlight. And that's how we kind of like start to chip away at the Hydra. You know what I'm saying? You're not ever going to change someone's opinion. That guy will always, as far as we know, that guy, you can't, no matter how mad you are and how angry and pissed off you are, you can scream at him until you're blue in the face and you're 6 feet under, that he is wrong and these are why you're right. And you could be right for every single point, but that guy will always have his opinion. He will always believe what he wants to believe. So how do you change that? You just have to stop giving the platform. You have to stop giving the man the spotlight. and we go from there, you know. Um, my last point might be a little bit of a my last point is a little bit of a doozy one, because this one is a local event. This is a very local situation. And I didn't even want to make this podcast episode. I didn't. Because I am the type of person to think that, crazy as dumb as this sounds, because this is a podcast and like all of what I say is my opinion based, but I don't like drama. I hate drama. So that's why even just making this episode is just draining and kind of like annoying to talk about anyways. But I felt like I had to do it because of two reasons, in one, you could say two, but one individual. Two reasons is exactly what Jimmy said in the Seattle Uprising post. I don't think I really have it on hand right now. Let me see if I can like bring it up or something. Let's see here. Sorry, this is gonna be a moment. All right. So the post that I'm talking about specifically, because there's like a few slides, is a strong community does not stay quiet when someone pushes hate. Silence is not neutral, it's position. It's permission. No one is saying that people shouldn't be allowed to talk or think how they want. That's not the issue. This is about someone openly pushing Nazi rhetoric and still getting a platform, coaching, media attention, and being treated like a respected figure in the sport. And special treatment from the league by featuring D5 way more than anyone else. And special treatment from the league by featuring D5 way more than anyone else. And special treatment from the league by featuring D5 way more than anyone else. A few years ago, I got pissed off at the NXL because someone was thirst trapping for Destiny when everybody else in the league was putting in a piss ton of hard work. And the NXL social media team would not give anybody else attention until I blew up on them and made a post in their comment section. And now we are seeing D5, D4, D3, D2, Young Guns, all this other stuff. And they're following those divisional teams. But now for some reason, because a celebrity is in the space, special treatment from the league by featuring D5 way more than anyone else. Free speech protects you from the government. It doesn't mean you're owed visibility, praise, or a seat at the table in a community that claims to have values. Here's the thing. So, Uprising and Jimmy, they made that post, and I agree. We shouldn't be giving someone the podium, and we shouldn't give them the spotlight to just continue and freely doing it. Like, we all know it's there. Like, I didn't know because I don't watch this guy, but if the whole community knew that this is the guy's mindset, why are we still giving the podium and the spotlight? Why? We just don't want to. He's got money. He's going to give you money. So you want money? That's ridiculous. Like, that's so ridiculous. Hey, I'm going to give you some money. Like, continue, be my friend. No, that's ridiculous. And then the second topic that made me want to make this episode. And let me take you guys down a little like local situation with someone named Ken Bryson. Whoa. A lot of people know who Ken Bryson is. A lot of people don't know who Ken Bryson is. Look him up. Ken Bryson, Broward, Florida. Whoa, I wonder why he's in jail. Allegedly, I shouldn't even say allegedly, he's in jail. But look up Ken Bryson. You'll find that he's in the same boat as the owner of Die Paintball, allegedly. Because we don't know. The owner of Die Paintball is still doing his court stuff and all that crap. That's why we're keeping names out, and it's all alleged. It's all alleged. And someone close that, not like close to me or anything, I can't let too much details out because it's not my business and it's not your business of who this individual is. But he was around Ken Bryson when all of Ken Bryson's crap was going down. Like, when I was back in 2011, 2012, I asked Ken Bryson to play on his team. He was inviting me with open arms. Luckily, I was just like I didn't have the funds to travel 2 hours away. I didn't even have a vehicle. So I was able to get myself out of a bad situation that I didn't even know was going to happen. But somebody else that I know was around that camp, and he even said himself, like, Ken Bryson went on way too long, and look what had happened. More lives got destroyed because of that guy. And that's what really like kind of kicked this idea off to have to say something, because not saying that lives are getting wrecked or lives are being ruined by this Nazi stuff, but is there potential? I don't know. If we just sit idly by and be quiet and allow it to run its course, what is the extent? You know, like, what starts to happen at events, after events, before events? Do we just become comfortable? Would we just start to become comfortable with it? It's too scary of a topic to talk about, and we just ignore it, or we just try to walk around it and step on eggshells and, haha, oh, that's funny, stuff like that. Like, I don't know. But I feel like I have to make a stand too. What does the NXL allow? Now the NXL is not at all the grandmaster of paintball. It's just the pro series. It's like the NFL. The NFL doesn't control, as far as I know, the NFL doesn't control like the smaller baby leagues around your local football fields in elementary schools and all that crap, rec play and crap like that, or your city fields that open up in your city and you guys put on games like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what paintball is. There's no overarching king that owns paintball. Tom does not own everybody else in everybody's field and tells you what you can and cannot do in regulations. He owns the NXL, and he tells you what is going to happen at the NXL and what's not going to happen at the NXL. And like, again, fads catch on in paintball so fast. Headbands, mask straps, super dead ears and visors, custom gun annos, all the way down to what's hanging off of your tank, to certain triggers. Sling triggers they were never a thing. I think Luxe was the first company to put sling triggers in, And now almost every single paintball marker has a sling trigger instead of an S trigger. It's the hype. Same macro. Where's the macro line? Although this gun was made in 2000, not this gun, but this gun was made in 2008 with no macro line. The industry didn't start catching on until DM14 and Geo 4, you know, like, or CS1, sorry, CS1. Trends are quick. And look at violence. Look at enemy of the state. All this stuff, we become billboards. They need the name brand stuff. They want to be plastered with all this stuff to look cool. And like, who's to say that stuff gets out of hand too? So we're kind of like stuck in where we were in the very beginning of this podcast episode. Is what does Tom want to do? What is tolerable? What is not tolerable? We got kids coming into the league. We got kids looking up to people, and that guy was getting a lot of spotlight lately. And it just takes one Google search. We know how kids are with freaking internet nowadays, tablet kids, crap like that. Like, these kids are 7 years old with an iPhone 16. Like, so is there worse stuff that they're probably looking up and they can find out otherwise? Yeah. But it doesn't mean it has to be in paintball as well, man. Like, everybody's trying to enjoy their time. Everybody's putting all this money into putting their best foot forward to. Some people want to just play a tournament and others want to become pros. Does it suck to see that type of hatred around? Yeah, it does. As for me, I mean, I take this as a, flat earther trying to tell me the earth is flat. Like, all right, man, it's okay. Go be crazy. That's how I look at this guy with the Nazi stuff. It's okay, man. It's okay. Just you can go be crazy over in your corner. That's fine. But again, I hate bullies, dude. I seriously hate bullies. It angers me to no extent. And again, I think about the Ken Bryson situation. And the unfortunate demise that a lot of those, not demise, but the unfortunate situation a lot of kids were put in. A lot of kids were put in. That's what I get upset about the most. Those two things. And again, I would have stayed silent on the whole thing. I don't know. We find ourselves in like really funky times, and there's going to be a lot of people that won't comment on this. Marcelo has already put out his statement, and people are trying to analyze his text, and they're trying to analyze like what he's saying. And like, it seriously does not need to be that deep. It really does not need to be that deep. I mean, we're trying to make it a lot. A lot of those people are trying to find reasons to cancel Marcelo, and I don't think it's necessary. The dude's, my take on Marcelo is that he has been around the paintball scene for so long. I remember him back on Iron Man. Back in the day, and like, all the people that Marcelo has created relationships with, all the people he has talked to, befriended, cut ties with, I don't take him as some sort of Nazi sympathizer. I don't think he's in that camp. this is my personal opinion. Um, I mean, I feel like the guys on Dynasty are very level-headed, and they don't strike me as the type of guys that would tolerate. I don't know these guys though. I don't know anyone on Dynasty, so like, I could be wrong, but they don't seem like the type of people that would freaking tolerate that bull crap. Uh, I don't know. Freaking, I know Impact is doing a. It might be a PR thing. Hey, we're gonna look into this and all that stuff. And what kind of information do you really have? Like, what kind of investigation are you gonna really do? Like, how do you investigate that? Oh, were you at his house? Yeah. Did you do a tour of his closet? Yeah, I thought he had a cool collection of Proflexes. Did you see the marker? No, I just didn't see it. Well, how did you not see it? It was right there on the stand right in front of everybody. I just didn't see it. I was looking at all of the masks. Like, you can't tell him he's wrong. You can't tell him he's right. You can't say this or that. Like, this is unfortunately just an unfortunate situation in the paintball community, and I think emotion is definitely running more than logic. I do stand with Uprising on this. You know, we have no room for this type of hatred and obscenity. To be quite frank, this is very obscene. Uh, but I'm not one for drama myself, and personally, I just see it as like I can turn off the computer and walk away and understand that to stop the situation the best I can is to not give it light. That's why that's why the name itself has not been said. Um Unfortunately, I did bring up Ken Bryson, so that's a Google search that everyone can do. But that's dealt with. Um that's long gone now. Uh and with the whole owner of Die, that's all alleged because you are innocent until proven guilty. That might rub people the wrong way, but this is America, and that's how we do things. Innocent until proven guilty. So, and, kind of capitalizing on that situation, I know a lot of people are like, oh, F Die. Like, there's a billion other people at Die that work there, and they don't need that crap, right? There's engineers, and there's social media. There's the social media person, and there's all these other people that just don't have anything to do with the situation at hand. And honestly, like, when you go to your job, are you asking your boss what they're doing in their personal life all the time? No, you're not. You don't care about your boss. You're going there to get your paycheck and then go home, right? A lot of people feel that way. This is paintball. It's a little bit different. You can be a little bit more personal with bosses and stuff. No pun intended. You can be more personal with bosses and stuff. But like, I don't know, man. I think we give we just let that one run its course. Let's find out what the trial holds, because we don't know like what's going on. We don't know what's going to really happen. Is there undeniable proof? I don't know. But like, let's just give it a rest on all the other guys that are going there to bring some money home so that they can survive to the next day. You know, I think that's kind of like ran its course. I'm fatigued from talking about it all. There's going to be more things that come out in the next few days, probably. The NXL is going to say some stuff. Other people are going to say some stuff. But like, it's up to you to make the most like logical decision. Do you want to waste your time like drama feeding this like it's the Real Housewives, or I don't know if that's like a scripted show, actually. I don't know what that is. But like Jersey Shore, like some sort of like real drama TV or whatever. Or just kind of, again, like just let it run its course and we go from there as a community. of course, we, I think we take our strides in stopping it where we can if we have that ability. Cancel culture, I don't think, is the way to go. People are, this is America. We have freedoms. But I also believe that platforming all of that and the person who it is just not, it's not necessary. And that's where we can actually start putting a stop to it. There's that. I thought about like reaching out to Jimmy and talking about it more. If he wanted to, we get on a podcast and we kind of talk about it. But it's drama. It's drama. I feel like it's like two old dudes sitting on the couch and like crying about what's happening that doesn't mean anything. Like, yes, it means something. Like, don't take those words crazy. But I feel like, yeah, I just feel like we're old people that know better. And we can make a change in a positive manner rather than trying to, again, like dramatize it and cancel culture it. That's what I'm trying to get at. I don't want to dramatize it and cancel culture it. Let's be logical about it and go from there. But holy crap, I appreciate you guys for watching if you do. Again, I'm a much more smaller channel that does not upload frequently because I do not have all the time in the world. Future plans, I tried to talk to HK Army about getting a CS3 foregrip, but just a review unit, they just told me to buy one, and I have $120 that has to go elsewhere. And then I asked a Tactics for their headband clip thing, and for a review unit, and they told me to buy one. So that one is a little bit more doable. I just want a review unit. I would have just sent it back to them. I didn't need to like keep it or nothing like that. Other than that, let me actually, I don't have it on me. It's in my truck. Yeah, it's in my truck. The lone paintball barrel is awesome. So, you guys probably remember. You guys probably remember my squeaky Freak XL barrel from the one episode where it squeaked like crazy, the one clip that I have. So you probably, this is the Luxe. Really quickly, let me like put this in there. I was not a big fan of the Luxe barrel back in pictures, but when this came in person, it's really cool. I was really excited. We're going windowless on barrels now. I've seen it in the Planet Eclipse CS3 Pro. Thank God. I don't know why we were doing windows anyways. Nobody cares what color we see for freak inserts. Nobody's memorizing that the blue one is I'm just taking a shot in the dark, a 687, and the red one is 689, and like the orange one is a 684. Nobody's doing that. But anyways, lone paintball, their barrel, and I'm not even trying to shill out. I'm being genuinely honest. I was practicing on a Sunday morning and I was chopping paint every single point really badly. I switched because I was trying out the freak, wanted to rebore on my freak inserts, chopping paint pretty badly, switched to the lone paintball barrel, and no hiccups whatsoever. I'd never chop for the rest of the day, and everybody on the field, teams I was going against, all chopping. Not crazy, like, oh my God, we're all helicopters out there chopping paint, but we were having like not the best paint handling. I know, like I said, I was having some bad paint handling, but the lone paintball barrel was freaking sick. It just like, it cleared up the whole entire situation. So, man, I love those guys. I've been trying, and now I am going to chill out. I was trying to I'm trying to let people know, like, you got to buy this barrel at the local field. So, If you don't have a lone paintball barrel, you need to go to lonepaintball.com. So you're gonna type in lone and then you're gonna immediately hit enter and then go to Lone Wolf Paintball. Don't do that. Go back to your search bar. Type in Lone Paintball, LONE, paintball.com. I want you to go on over to barrels at the top and to the left. Click on barrels, not inserts, not accessories, not lone team, PB sizer. And I want you to buy the Overcore kit. It's for $130. Although it's $130, it is the best barrel system you're ever going to buy. I made that mistake of going back to my regular Era barrel, the Freak system, because I wanted to just resize and rebore. Big mistake. Switched back to my lone paintball barrel and had no hiccups. So that's what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to hit select options, get the whole entire kit, the 683, 687, 691, length 14-inch thread, auto cocker. You want to choose black dust or black gloss. I'm a fan of gloss. You can see here, it makes everything more shinier. Like I'm like a fish. If you have something shiny, like it looks better, and I want to put it in my mouth. And you're going to want to add it to cart, and then you're going to want to buy it. So yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. I don't know when the next one is. I'm not going to sit there and tell you like every YouTuber, oh, I'll see you in the next one. I'm not going to do that because like I'm always just trying to do stuff. I have ideas as to what I wanted to talk about. Unfortunately, this topic took over because it did. And we'll go from there. Maybe in the next one I will do a whole entire review of the Idol. Because I think this is my end-all be-all marker now. I don't know. I had a sunrise. I had a tequila sunrise Luxe 2.0 back in the day. Was not a fan of it because I didn't like sling triggers. Went back to shooting a Bob-Long Mark 6 and then a Bob-Long Closer and then a Bob-Long Victory that I sold to Punisher's PB on PB Nation. It was a V2 T-Rex, and then I had a Bob-Long Vis. And then I shot a 170R. Oh, I had an Ego 9 in there somewhere. Shot a 170R. The Ego 9 was before the Luxe. But yeah, 170R, and then took a huge break from paintball and bought the Era, then the CS3, and now the Idol, because the Idol's amazing. As far as I've been using it, to me it's amazing. Besides that little where I shoot it to degas and then another ball rolls out. I don't know what that is. I'm just gonna have DLX look at it. So for the third time, thank you guys for watching. Not really active on social media. I will talk. I'm in messages all the time if you want to talk to me. As far as me posting and stuff like that to stay relevant, it's hard to do because I don't really do that much. I really don't. I try to watch updates. I'll catch you guys later. See ya.